All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. We are on Warrior's Path in a domination match. I am in the Tier 4 French Premium Destroyer Sirocco. We are top tier on Warrior's Path. And I have the new French commander, Charles Blery, in my ship in command. Actually, I'm going to start the game so I can tell you about Charles Blery while the match is progressing. So, Charles Blery is a new French commander. He's free to play. I strongly recommend him with a caveat. The caveat is I strongly recommend him in French destroyers with access to the main battery reload booster. Now, Sirocco, you've heard me talk about it. It's a terrible ship. The minuses are that it isn't fast at all, unlike most of the other French destroyers. It has terrible AA, like most of the other French destroyers. And the rudder shift doesn't feel great. And none of those problems are solved with Charles Blery. You don't get better AA. I would tell you, I mean, you could, but don't invest in AA. But what it does is it takes the strength, which is the main battery reload booster, and amplifies it. And he's also a gunboat commander. He has Observant Rage in row number 1. His base trait also, Officier de Tir, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, his base trait increases main battery range and increases main battery damage against other destroyers. So instead of shoring up the weak points, they're building into the strong points. So that's why I encourage you to use Charles Blery on any French destroyer with the main battery reload booster. The reason for that is simple. We're going to talk about it at the end of the match. But there is a skill in row 4 called Strong Diplomacy, and it's like 2 skills in 1. And what I mean by that is this. Strong Diplomacy has no minuses, and it has 2 benefits. Benefit number 1 increases the destroyer gun traverse speed up to 3.2%. I totally expect the skill to be nerfed. And the other thing it does is it increases the duration of the main battery reload booster up to 22.5%. By the way, look at that. Got some Citadel hits and our first kill already here in Sirocco. Now, I know Sirocco, I probably shit all over it when I played it, and I was probably using every ounce of my ability to maybe get 4 kills out of it. Sirocco's still bad. You know, our build here, we're using, what speed? Go all out, I think. Yeah, we're using go all out to enhance our concealment. As you can see, it's down to 4.7. The torpedoes don't do a ton of damage. We're going to run into an island here to dodge some torpedoes. Ka-thunk. But this is something the French have needed for a long time, the gunboat commander. If Go All Out wasn't nerfed as hard as it's been nerfed, I would say it's almost perfect. It's not completely perfect. It's not the same. The French destroyers get a reduced damage saturation model on PC. I would love to see that here. But what it does do, instead of giving us more charges of the main battery reload booster, they made the charges last longer. And I think once you get the commander fully maxed, it'll be even more evident what a great commander it is for French destroyers. All right, so we saw the enemy destroyer out there, the other enemy destroyers over in the other cap. We are moving in here on Wyoming. And I think this next thing is also going to illustrate how good this commander is for French ships. Really kind of a game changer for these destroyers with the main battery reload booster. So we got a V-170 over there, Tier 3 German. He doesn't pose a huge threat to us. He's a threat, but not a huge threat. A threat more with torpedoes than anything else. The threat here is the Wyoming. So we're going to turn and hazard quite a bit of damage there. Turn to face Wyoming. And we got a turret disabled. We don't have the ability to heal it. But we're going to hit this main battery reload booster. Now, normally this main battery reload booster lasts 15 seconds. We're getting an extra 2.5 seconds about because of the way we have Blery ranked up. So an extra 2.5 seconds might not sound like much, but as you can see, that's at least one more salvo, if not two. I'm ignoring Wisconsin, but we're going to be able to burn down V-170 here, right there. All right, kill number 2. And we're moving in here on Wyoming, who took some torpedoes earlier, and we're about to get our torpedo reload. And he really can't do anything. We're going to launch out, and we're going to turn away, and he is going to go to Davy Jones's locker. Kill number 3. Now, I know the enemy aircraft carrier is somewhere around here based upon the mini-map. We're just going to keep on going. We're not going to turn or maneuver in any way because I don't want to detract from my speed. All right, maybe we're maneuvering a teeny bit. I don't want to distract from my speed. We switched armor piercing from HE because we're going to use armor piercing on the Hermes. We are up close and personal. Now, Hermes positioned himself in a way that he's really not going to get a lot of secondary battery stuff off at me. We're going to send one salvo here and get one Citadel hit. There's that secondary battery salvo. Really didn't do a whole lot because of angles. We're going to shoot him up the poop there and get a lot of nothing. So we're going to turn and wait until we're broadside. We're going to widen out our launch, and we're going to take out the Hermes. There's the honk noise, high caliber metal, kill number 4. That's right, ladies and gents, and a devastating strike. All right, we got 85k damage, and we are officially on the hunt for a Kraken. Are you convinced yet that you need to start investing in Charles Blery if you're a destroyer commander and you play French destroyers and you like French destroyers and you want them to be better? I really think you need to do whatever you can, and I'm going to do whatever I can. All of my promotion orders, all of my insignias and commendations are going into ranking up Charles Blery. Right now I'm at 15-3. Unfortunately for me, that's only like halfway to getting that 4th row skill fully maxed out. So once I get him to 16, then it'll be 3/4 of the way maxed out. Once I get him fully maxed out at 16-4, then the skill will be fully ranked up and he will be an absolute terror. But yes, if you're a Frenchophile, you love French destroyers, get Charles Blery, put the resources into him, grind those premium earn-ups, especially Tier 8 and Legendary Tier, to get the resources to bring this man up as quickly as you can to full value, because you won't regret it. He took a destroyer like Sirocco, pedestrian, utterly a pedestrian destroyer. You have to get lucky to make Sirocco work. I think it might have been a year 4 reward ship, maybe. Maybe I'm confusing it with Cyclone or another one. I can't remember, but Sirocco's not... It still has a lot of weaknesses. The maneuverability, the lack of speed is a weakness. The AA, Achilles heel, is a weakness. Concealment definitely is not a strength. You can see we have it built for concealment. We're going from 5.3 to 4.7 with go all out. So, I mean, that's good. But, you know, you could use that row of skills for something else if your concealment was a little bit better, just to start with. So, you know, I just think it took this destroyer, which wasn't great, and pushed it up into the good category. Where would I rank Sirocco with this commander? fully maxed, it's not Gremiashi. It's not. Uh, in my opinion, Gremiashi is an awesome destroyer at tier 4. I would rate it above the hill at tier 4. I'm struggling to think of other tier 4 destroyers besides Kamikaze. Obviously, just in terms of damage dealing, Kamikaze is the king. But yeah, it changes Sirocco from a middle of the road pedestrian destroyer to a really good destroyer. Not great. Great is reserved for Gremiashi and Kamikaze, but definitely makes it more playable. Definitely a threat. If I'm in Gremiashi and I saw a Sirocco before, I'd be like, whatever. If I saw a Sirocco now, I'd be like, hey, let me choose my battle carefully here, because the 130s, they aren't 139s, but they still do punch, and you don't want to get punched by 17 and a half seconds or 22 and a half seconds of main battery reload booster, or whatever it's going to be when you max out the commander. It's going to hurt. All right, enemy battleship Viribus Unitus. He dodges one set of torps. The second set, I kind of led him, and he turned away from the first set, and that's going to move him directly into the path of the second set. There it is, folks. Kraken Unleashed. And another devastating strike. All right. Here we are on the victory screen in Sirocco. 106,424 total damage. 2 devastating strikes, high caliber metal, and the Kraken Unleashed metal. 48 main battery hits, 7 torpedo strikes, 5 kills. We caused 5 floods, 3 citadel hits, and an assisted base cap. We ended up with 300,923 silver, 6,200 ship XP, 6,600 commander XP. So Charles Blery plus any French destroyer with the main battery reload booster is a great combo. All right, here we are at the top of the board. 4 medals, 5 kills, 2266 base XP. A GG to the Izuzuchi. Yes, I know he only got 1 kill, but he killed a cruiser. I don't think I could have killed both of those ships alone. He also provided a needed distraction to Viribus Unitus. So I definitely needed him to win the game. Otherwise, we wouldn't have won. So thank you to that commander. All right, let's go into the port and take a look at the ship. We're going to point out again the differences that Charles Blery brings. All right, we still have Aiming Systems Mod 1 on there. Didn't bother updating it. I would not use the AA mod in this ship at all. Please pardon this message from Wargaming. Main Battery Mod 2, because of the turret traverse, definitely a consideration. However, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Here with this build, you can see 13.7 turret traverse. I don't think you need to use Main Battery Mod 2. I really don't. I would stick with Aiming System Mod 1 for accuracy. That's just one of my personal opinion there. All right, HE, AP, and regular torpedoes. Unlimited charges of damage con. 2 charges of the main battery reload booster. You can see the duration, 17.6 seconds. And 2 charges of the engine boost. And so we're going to, if I can hit the right buttons, swap out Charles Blery with maybe Louis Violette. And we'll look here. The base value is 15 seconds. So you're getting a little over 2.5 seconds longer for that main battery reload booster. And so it's going to be slightly longer once you max that skill out. Maybe it would approach 20 seconds. I'm not very good at math. That's just my guess. All right. So looking here, you can see all this stuff is slightly improved with the gunnery. You're building into your strong point. I really can't stress that enough. That's what you should be doing when you're playing this game, is building into the strong points and allowing that to carry you out there on the high seas, so to speak. So all our accuracy slightly improved, reload, turret traverse slightly improved, firing range slightly improved. We have a small nerf to armor pen at max range. If you're counting on your armor pen at 10.7 or 10.9 kilometers, whatever the distance of the main battery is, and I don't know that that's a great strategy. All right, nothing changed with the torpedoes from the stock value there. AA defense is still really terrible. I wouldn't build into this in any way, shape, or form. We take a dip in speed down to 33 knots. Rudder shift time increased by about 11%. I think that's a worthy trade-off. Here, concealment is better than stock. 5.3 on the surface, 2.9 from the air, 2.3 when firing in smoke. And I do not think I had a crack in Sirocco until now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should watch my own videos before I record these. But I don't think I did. All right. Here is the card for Charles Blery. Officier de Tir, if I pronounce that correctly, when it's maxed out, 3.2% to main battery range and 4% to damage versus other destroyers from your main battery, running double concealment with Bay and Swirsky. Row 1, Observant Rage. We all know what that does. Row 2, Go All Out. Still think this was nerfed too much by Wargaming on the negative side. That's just one man's opinion. All right, row number 3, we're going with Twist and Track for now. I know a lot of people say Perceptive more valuable. You're going to switch to Perceptive at some point, but not right now. We need the turret traverse. All right, here's the unique skill, Strong Diplomacy. Destroyer gun traverse speed. Tops out at 3.2%. Main battery reload booster duration, essentially plus another 5% when you get that max. But here's the thing. When you get Strong Diplomacy maxed, your turret traverse speed will be plus 3.2 degrees. That will render Twist and Track obsolete. So you can switch from Twist and Track to Perceptive and be even harder to kill. And for our legendary skill, we went with Leviathan down here. Leviathan gives you 10% hit points when it's maxed out. There is the penalty to movement speed. But look at the special effect. This is what makes Leviathan so important for this gunboat build. Reduces incoming damage by 10% and greatly increases your rudder ship by 20%. Right now, when an enemy ship is within 6 kilometers, that's going to top out at 7.5 kilometers. So this is the build that I recommend. The only change when you top out Strong Diplomacy is you're going to switch from Twist and Track to Perceptive. Thanks for watching.